OK, let's return to that breaking news that we brought you right at the end of last hour. And Benfica's Gianluca Prestianni will not play against Chief Correspondent Kaveh Solokul is here. What can you tell us?
Well, look, some breaking news is surprising. Some breaking news is not surprising. This is really not surprising. Most people in football couldn't quite understand why Benfica were even trying to appeal this UEFA decision. The background to this, of course, is that last Tuesday, Real Madrid played Benfica in Lisbon, and there was an allegation made against Gianluca Prestianni, the Benfica winger, that he had racially abused Vinícius Júnior during the game. Now, he denied those allegations, but UEFA sprang into action really, really quickly. They appointed an inspector to investigate what had happened. He interviewed the players and he produced an interim report, which he handed to UEFA's disciplinary body at the beginning of this week. And in that report, he had recommended that while the investigation carries on, Prestianni should be banned, which meant that he would not be able to play tonight's game against Real Madrid. He felt that on first impressions, there was enough evidence to suggest that Prestianni had broken UEFA's anti-discriminatory regulations. Now, Benfica, instead of accepting that, well within their rights, if they want to, they can appeal. But even though time was so limited before this game tomorrow night, on Monday they announced that they were going to appeal, although they admitted that their chances of success was very, very small. Yesterday, Prestianni flew with the rest of the Benfica players to Madrid. Yesterday evening, he even trained with them at the Bernabeu. But today, just in the last few minutes, it has been confirmed that he will not be able to play this evening because he is suspended. That appeal by Benfica has failed.
And Benfica's trip to Real Madrid in 2 days' time in the Champions League. Now, the first leg was overshadowed by alleged racist abuse directed at Vinícius Júnior by Benfica midfielder Gianluca Prestianni. Well, some comments from Benfica boss Jose Mourinho as well, in which he said that trouble follows Vinícius Júnior wherever he goes. Well, our chief correspondent Kaveh Solokul joins me now. Kaveh, look, Mourinho was due to speak to the media tomorrow, but not anymore.
No, Jose Mourinho is exercising his right not to speak to the media before or after this really important game against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu on Wednesday night. His media duties will instead be performed by his assistant, João Tralhão. Now, Benfica are flying from Lisbon to Madrid tomorrow morning at 10:30. Mr. Tralhão will hold a news conference at the Bernabeu at 4:15, so it will be him and not Jose Mourinho. And the Benfica players will train at 5 o'clock. But what Mourinho is doing is not against the rules. It's actually in UEFA's regulations that he doesn't have to speak to the media because he was shown a red card in the first game, and that means that he's suspended for this game in Madrid.
So he's allowed to do this? This silence is not going to land him in any trouble?
I know that this can be interpreted. I'm sure some of Jose Mourinho's enemies or his critics will say he's running away from scrutiny, he doesn't want to answer tough questions. But I would say to you, you have to look at UEFA's regulations, and UEFA's regulations say that he is well within his rights not to speak to the media, because last week he got 2 yellow cards, which meant that he got a red card, which means that he is suspended for this return fixture. And if you look at UEFA's regulations, Article 79.04 of their Champions League regulations say that if the head coach is suspended, clubs have the option of making the assistant coach available to speak the day before the game. And if you go to Article 80.04 of UEFA's regulations for the Champions League, it says that if the head coach is suspended or sent off, the club has the option of making the assistant coach available.